Hello, welcome to Election Night 2018. This is what we've been building for a long time, for the best part of 2 years, and it's finally about to come to a close. What a campaign year it has been, and we're about to find out who will win the House of Representatives, the Senate, and the governorships across the country. Now, this is a big night that everyone's been building for, and I hope you enjoy. Hello, welcome to Election Night 2018. Tonight we have Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer representing the Democratic Party, and Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell representing for the Republican Party. Currently, the Republicans hold the majority in all of the branches of government, but the Democrats are challenging them in all of them except the presidency. We will be displaying the Senate and governor election results. Let's get right into our first projection of the night. Let's start off with the 7 p.m. poll closings. In the state of Vermont, no surprise here, the first projection of the night, Bernie Sanders will be re-elected United States Senator from Vermont. In Virginia, Tim Kaine is the projected winner of the Senate race in the state of Virginia, a Democrat. In South Carolina, the governor's race, Henry McMaster is the projected winner there. In the state of Vermont, Phil Scott will go on to be re-elected governor of Vermont. In the state of Indiana, this is one of the most hotly contested races between Joe Donnelly, the incumbent Democrat, and Mike Braun, who is a Trump-like challenger, 13% of the vote in. It is too close to call. In the state of Georgia, the governor's race, with 12% of the vote in, Stacey Abrams is currently tied with Republican Secretary of State Brian Kemp. This is a very close race. In the state of Indiana, 2 Democrats and 7 Republicans. Kentucky, 2 Democrats and 4 Republicans. A major race there in Kentucky. Andy Barr lost his seat just then. In the state of Vermont, Nancy Pelosi will retain this seat for the Democrats. Not Nancy Pelosi is representing that district, but you know what I mean. In the state of South Carolina, 1 Democrat, 6 Republicans. In Georgia, 4 Democrats and 10 Republicans. In the state of Virginia, Dave Bratt just lost his seat. 6 Democrats and 5 Republicans in that state. Barbara Comstock also losing that seat. On the current 2018 Senate map, we have 25 Democrats and 42 Republicans win. 51 to win if you're the Democrats, 50 to win for the Republicans. 7 Democrats and 9 Republicans on our 2018 governor's map. 26 governorships needed to win, and 218 to win in the House of Representatives. 16 Democrats, 32 Republicans. Right now, it's time for our 7:30 p.m. poll closings. In the state of West Virginia, Republicans were hoping, but no, not this time. Joe Manchin will be re-elected United States Senator from West Virginia. In the state of Ohio, Sherrod Brown will be re-elected. Polls got a lot tighter, but he was able to hold on in the end. In Ohio, this is one of the hotly contested governor races. The pictures there, there's some technical difficulty there, but Richard Cordray has 52% of the vote. You can see his picture on the right side, and then Mike Lewine on the left side. They will switch. That is due to a technical error. Cordray has a 5-point lead. In the state of West Virginia, a major upset. Richard Ojeda in the 3rd district was able to narrowly pick off this Trump plus 50 district. He really appealed to the voters in that district, but Republicans holding the majority in West Virginia. In Ohio, 4 Democrats, 12 Republicans. In North Carolina, 4 Democrats and 9 Republicans. If we take a look at our 2018 Senate map, not much change here. 27 Democrats, 42 Republicans, 7 Democrats, 9 Republicans, and 25 Democrats, 55 Republicans. Let's gear up for our 8 p.m. poll closings. We've got a lot of projections at the top of the hour. Florida is closing all of their polls. New Jersey as well. also closing all their polls. hotly contested Senate races in Missouri and Tennessee. Their polls are closing. In the governor's side, we have Connecticut, Rhode Island, Maine, Pennsylvania, and many other states. Florida closing right now. In the state of Maine, Angus King will be re-elected. The independent senator there who caucuses with the Democrats will be re-elected United States Senator from Maine. In Pennsylvania, Bob Casey will be re-elected. In Massachusetts, Elizabeth Warren re-elected. Same thing for Sheldon Whitehouse. In Rhode Island, in Connecticut, Chris Murphy will be re-elected. In Delaware, Tom Carper re-elected. In Maryland, Ben Cardin will be re-elected. In the state of Pennsylvania, the governor's race, Tom Wolf will be re-elected. There we go. In the state of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker this is a Democratic gain, will oust Republican incumbent governor at poll closing time, Bruce Rauner, losing his seat in the governor's mansion. Mississippi, the special Senate race, Cindy Hyde-Smith will be elected United States Senator from Mississippi. In the other Mississippi race, Roger Wicker will be re-elected. In New Hampshire, Chris Sununu will be re-elected. In the state of Massachusetts, Charlie Baker will be re-elected. In the state of Maryland, Larry Hogan, the incumbent Republican, will be re-elected. In the state of Tennessee, Bill Lee will be elected for his first time in the governor's mansion of Tennessee. In Alabama, Kay Ivey will be re-elected. In Oklahoma, Kevin Stitt actually won't be re-elected there in the state of Oklahoma, but he will be elected. This is surprisingly close, mostly due to Mary Fallon's unpopularity. But in the state of Missouri, this is a hotly contested swing race. In Missouri, Claire McCaskill and Josh Hawley are in a dead heat, 49-49, with almost half the vote in. In Florida, 71% of the vote is in, 52% for Bill Nelson, 47% for Rick Scott. There is still some vote to come in from the Republican areas, but there's also a bit of vote to come in from the Democratic areas. So this is going to be one to watch. In the state of New Jersey, surprisingly close, 8-point lead there for unpopular incumbent Democrat Bob Menendez. In Tennessee, Phil Bredesen, the former governor, and Marsha Blackburn, the Republican, are in a dead heat, 48-48 in the Senate race in Tennessee. Now on to the governor's races. Ned Lamont, the Democrat, has a 2-point edge over Bob Stefanowski, the Republican, in Connecticut's governor race. Gina Raimondo is leading Alan Fung in the Rhode Island governor race with 4% of the vote in. In Maine, Janet Mills and Sean Moody are in a dead heat in the state of Maine. This state uses ranked choice voting, and I'll put a link in the description of where you can find out more about that. In the state of Florida, the governor's race there, 71% reporting, and Andrew Gillum and Ron DeSantis. Andrew Gillum has a 9-point lead over Ron DeSantis in the Florida governor race. However, the areas where Andrew Gillum is doing well in, there is not much vote left, and where Ron DeSantis is doing well in, there's hardly any vote coming in. So this is going to be one to watch. Now, in the state of Maine, the House composition, Democrats picking up the Bruce Poliquin seat 2-0. In New Hampshire, also 2-0 for the Democrats in the state of New Hampshire. In Massachusetts, the Democrats hold on to 9 of their seats, all 9. Rhode Island, 2-0. Connecticut, 5-0. New Jersey, 10 Democrats, 2 Republicans. Tom MacArthur holding on by the skin of his teeth. In Delaware, 1 Democrat, 0 Republicans. In the state of Maryland, 7 Democrats, 1 Republican. In Pennsylvania, it's dead even, 9-9. This state has redistricting processes. In Illinois, the House composition is 12-6 Democrats, picking one up. In Florida, 13-14 in favor of the Republicans. They will narrowly hold control of the Florida chamber. The House, the U.S. House, you guys know what I mean. And in that Florida, Carlos Curbelo lost his seat just then. In the state of Missouri, 2-6 in favor of the Republicans. Oklahoma 5-0. Alabama 6-1. Mississippi 3-1. Tennessee 7-2. Now, let's take a look at our 2018 Senate map. 34 Democrats, 44 Republicans, and 9 Democrats and 15 Republicans on the 2018 gubernatorial map. 103 Democrats, 114 Republicans in the 2018 House map. It's now 8:30 p.m. Poll closings, and Arkansas's polls have closed. Asa Hutchinson will be re-elected governor of Arkansas, and all 4 of the incumbent Republicans will be re-elected in Arkansas. Now, taking a look at the 2018 Senate map, no change here in the governor's map. Republicans adding 1 seat there. And then in the 2018 House map, 103 Democrats, 118 Republicans. It's now 9 o'clock p.m. on the East Coast. We have a lot of projections. First up, in New York, Kristen Gillibrand will be re-elected. In Michigan, Debbie Stabenow re-elected. In Wisconsin, Tammy Baldwin re-elected. In Minnesota, Amy Klobuchar re-elected. In Minnesota's special election, Tina Smith will be elected. In New Jersey, Bob Menendez, previously too close to call, Bob Menendez re-elected to the United States Senate. In the state of New Mexico, Martin Heinrich is the projected winner. And now going over to Wyoming, John Barrasso will be re-elected. Same thing with Deb Fischer in Nebraska. Now let's go over some of our too close to call states. Texas, it's a dead even. Beto O'Rourke versus Ted Cruz. Beto O'Rourke 4 points behind incumbent Republican Ted Cruz. This is going to be one to watch. It's been going back and forth already, and there are still a lot of Democratic areas still not reporting. In the state of Arizona, Kristen Sinema versus Mark McSally, one of the most hotly contested races. Kristen Sinema with a 1-point edge. In North Dakota, 45-54 in favor of Kevin Cramer. Republicans looking to pick this one up. The polling has been very favorable towards the Republican challenger Kevin Cramer. We'll see how that one plays out. In the state of Connecticut, Ned Lamont will be elected governor of Connecticut. Same thing with unpopular Democratic incumbent Gina Raimondo in Rhode Island. In Maine, Janet Mills will be elected. In Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer, the establishment favorite, will go on and be elected. In Minnesota, Tim Walz will be elected governor of Minnesota. Jared Polis elected governor of Colorado. Michelle Lujan Grisham will be elected governor of New Mexico. In New York, Andrew Cuomo will be re-elected. In Wyoming, Mark Gordon will be elected Republican governor of Wyoming. In the state of Nebraska, Pete Ricketts will be elected. Greg Abbott elected in the state of Texas, and Doug Ducey elected in Arizona. Now, on our too close to call states, Tony Evers is 3 points ahead of Scott Walker, the incumbent Republican in the Wisconsin governor race. Democrats are hoping that Tony Evers will pick this one up for them. In South Dakota, Billy Sutton is 3 points behind Republican Chrissy Nolan. This is much closer than expected in South Dakota. In Kansas, and again too close to call, 48-48, Chris Kobach, the Republican there, Laura Kelly, the Democrat. Now for our too close to call states, Louisiana, 1 Democrat, 5 Republicans. Texas, 12 Democrats, 24 Republicans. North Dakota, a clean sweep. In Kansas, Democrats picking up 2 districts, 2 for 2. Now in South Dakota, there's 1 Republican, 0 Democrats. In New Mexico, a clean sweep. In Colorado, 3 Democrats, 4 Republicans. In Arizona, 5 Democrats, 4 Republicans. Nebraska, there's an upset here. Progressive Kara Eastman is the projected winner, ousting Republican incumbent Don Bacon in Nebraska's 2nd district. In Wyoming, 1 Republican, 0 Democrats as expected. In Minnesota, 6 Democrats, 2 Republicans. In this state, Democrats picked up 3 of the races, and Republicans, they picked up one race. So that evens out to a net gain of 2 seats in favor of the Democrats. In the state of Wisconsin, Paul Ryan's own seat is going to the Democrats. Randy Bryce is the projected winner, 4 for 4. In Michigan, 6 to 8 in favor of the Republicans. In New York, 20 Democrats, 7 Republicans. Republicans holding on to many of their vulnerable Congress people. Now, in the 2018 Senate map, Democrats have managed to close the gap from 25 to 42 all the way up to 41 to 46. This is competitive. Now, in the governor's map, again, Democrats closing the gap. 17 Democrats and 20 Republicans. In the 2018 House map, 167 Democrats, 182 Republicans. Now for our 10 p.m. poll closings from Montana, Nevada, Utah, and Iowa. A lot of competitive races in these states. In Nevada, 3 Democrats and 1 Republican. Democrats holding on to the 2 most vulnerable seats. In Montana, Ray Gianforte holds on narrowly. In the state of Utah, 4 Republicans, 0 Democrats. Mia Love narrowly retains her seat. In Iowa, 3 Democrats, 1 Republican. 2 Republican incumbents have lost their races to Democrats in the state of Iowa. In Montana, a poll closing called John Tester is the projected winner in the state of Montana. In Utah, Mitt Romney will be elected to the United States Senate. In Nevada, Jackie Rosen and Dean Heller in a statistical tie, 49 to 49. This is a hotly contested race in Nevada. Another hotly contested race in Nevada is the governor's race. Steve Sisolak and Adam Laxalt also in a dead heat there in Nevada. In Iowa's governor race, another dead heat, 49-49. Iowa's governor race, Fred Hubbell and Kim Reynolds in a statistical tie there. Now let's take a look at our 2018 Senate map. 42 Democrats, 47 Republicans, 20 Republicans, 17 Democrats, and 173 Democrats, 189 Republicans. Now it's time for the 11 p.m. poll closings from the states of California, Idaho, Oregon, Washington, and Hawaii. Dianne Feinstein in California will be re-elected. In Washington, Maria Cantwell re-elected. In Hawaii, Mazie Hirono will be re-elected. This is a major call. Bill Nelson will be re-elected in the state of Florida. He hangs on by less than 2%. This is a hotly contested race that will go to Bill Nelson. In the state of Indiana, Joe Donnelly again narrowly holds on by less than 2%. He will be re-elected United States Senator from the state of Indiana. In Tennessee, though, good news for Republicans. Marsha Blackburn will hold on to this seat against former Governor Phil Bredesen. In North Dakota, the first gain of tonight, and guess what? It's for the Republicans. Kevin Cramer will be elected the next United States Senator from North Dakota. In Idaho, the governor's race will go to Brad Little. No surprise there. In the state of Ohio, the governor's race, another major call. Richard Cordray will be elected the next governor of Ohio, taking over from John Kasich. In Florida, another major race. Andrew Gillum will be elected Florida governor. In the state of California, Gavin Newsom will be elected next governor of California. In Oregon, Kate Brown will be re-elected despite her unpopularity. In Hawaii, David Ige will be re-elected. No surprise there. In the state of California, we have 44 Democrats and 9 Republicans. Democrats gaining a lot of seats, especially in Orange County and especially in districts, that Hillary Clinton was able to beat Donald Trump. 44 Democrats, 9 Republicans. That gets them to 217 seats. And that's a major call. And now we can project that Democrats, they will take control for the U.S. House. We'll just quickly go over these. 7 Democrats, 3 Republicans, 4 Democrats, 1 Republican in Oregon, a clean sweep in Hawaii, and a clean sweep for the Republicans in the state of Idaho. Now, Nancy Pelosi will be elected the next Speaker of the House, assuming that the House Democratic caucuses elects her. But the Democrats, they will retake the control of the United States House of Representatives come 2019. Nancy Pelosi will be the leader, and this is major breaking news. Taking a look at we'll actually start off in the small technical error here. Here we go. We'll start off with the House map: 230 Democrats, 204 Republicans. Now in the Senate map, 47 Democrats, 49 Republicans. In the governor's map, 22 Democrats, 21 Republicans. There you see Democrats taking the House for the first time since 2010. Now it's time for our 12:30 a.m. state calls from South Dakota Governor and Texas Senate. In South Dakota, Kristi Noem will be elected next governor of South Dakota. It was close, but Kristi Noem will be elected. Now, going over to the state of Texas, Ted Cruz hangs on by the skin of his teeth. He will be re-elected United States Senator from the state of Texas. And what this means is that the Republicans, they will retain control of the United States Senate. This is breaking news. Mitch McConnell will be the United States Senate leader for at least another 2 years. And Republicans, they will retake the Senate. Now, going over to our maps, there you see Mitch McConnell. He is the Democrats take the House, the Republicans take the Senate. 50 Republicans, 47 Democrats, 22 for 22 in the governorships. This is still definitely up for grabs. We need 26 to win, and the House is going to go to the Democrats. Now, 1 a.m. poll closings in the state of Alaska. In Alaska, Don Young really faced a very serious challenge from the Democrat there, but he holds on. 1 Republican, 0 Democrats in the state of Alaska. And in the governor's race, it is too close to call, but Republican Mike Dunleavy has the edge over Democratic former Senator Mark Begich. Taking a look at our Senate map, no change here, and then in the governor's map, no change here, and then in the House map, you can see Alaska is now Republican. Now for our 1:30 a.m. state calls from the Senate race of Missouri and governor's races of Georgia, Kansas, and Wisconsin. First up in Missouri, Clay McCaskill holds on by a tiniest amount. She wins by less than 1%, and she will be re-elected United States Senator from Missouri. In Wisconsin, Tony Evers will be elected governor of the state of Wisconsin. Scott Walker going down tonight. In Georgia, Brian Kemp holds on. He will be elected next governor of Georgia. And in Kansas, Chris Kobach will narrowly hold on, and he will be elected next governor of Kansas. In the Senate map, 50 Republicans, 48 Democrats. Clay McCaskill holding on in Missouri. And then in the governorships, 24 Republicans, 23 Democrats. Democrats need a clean sweep of the remaining races to win it. Republicans need 2 out of the 3, and for a tie, Republicans will need just 1 out of the 3. Democrats will need 2 of them. In the House already has been decided. Now it's time for the 3 a.m. state calls. We have some major projections right now. In the state of Nevada, Jackie Rosen will be elected United States Senator from the state of Nevada. She narrowly wins over Republican incumbent Dean Heller. In the state of Arizona, Kristen Sinema narrowly wins this race. Again, Jackie Rosen and Kristen Sinema winning their races. This now means Jackie Rosen cancelled out the Republicans gain in North Dakota. Now Arizona means that Democrats will gain a net gain of 1. In Nevada, Steve Sisolak will be elected the next governor of Nevada. He holds on narrowly, but in Alaska, Mike Dunleavy will be elected governor of Alaska. Taking a look at our 2018 Senate map, 50 Republicans, 50 Democrats. Republicans retaining the Senate because of Vice President Mike Pence. And in the governor's map, it's going to all come down to Iowa on GOP's hopes of retaining the governorships of the United States. For Democrats, the best they can do is tie it. For Republicans, the best they can do is retain onto Iowa. It's a very hotly contested race in the state of Iowa, and in the House, we don't really need to see. Now, Iowa, it's going to come down to Iowa. This is a very hotly contested race. The winner has won by less than 0.75. The winner has won by less than 0.75 points. And the winner is Fred Hubbell. He will be elected next governor of Iowa, replacing Kim Reynolds in the governor's mansion in Iowa. This was a hotly contested battle, but Fred Hubbell will be elected next governor of Iowa. There you see, we'll actually skip over these because we have the final maps. Now, in the final maps, Democrats versus the GOP. In the 2018 Senate, this is what the United States Senate looks like. The red states have 2 Republican senators, blue states have 2 Democratic senators, and then the purple states have 1 of each. We do need to apologize. There actually is an error on this map. There is a major error in the state of Maine. Susan Collins is also senator from there, so we do apologize. Maine has, it should be a purple state there. Now, in the governor's mansions, there you see, if you can look for your state, if it's colored in blue, that means it has a Democratic governor now, and if it's colored in red, it means it has a Republican governor. Now taking a look at the final 2018 House, this will be the new House composition come 2019. You can see Democrats made many gains, translating into their 230 to 205 victory over the Republicans. Now, that was a massive election. This is published a few hours before we get the first returns coming in. So that was my final prediction maps. We're getting close, people. We're getting extraordinarily close. So at 7 p.m. Eastern Time in the US, sit down and get some popcorn, turn on the TV, and see what happens. Will your preferred party win, lose, or will it be a tie? Well, who will win the House, Senate, and Governor's mansions across the country? We'll find out together on election night 2018.